To develop a customer application that retrieves Microsoft 365 data, you need to understand how permissions and consent work in Microsoft Graph. You want to make the right choices about what data your application can and can't access, of course. For example, if you want to show a signed-in user's upcoming meetings, you'll want your application to have permission to access their calendar data from Microsoft 365. Now, applications request permission to access specific Microsoft 365 resources via Microsoft Graph, as I just talked with the previous scenario of accessing a calendar. These requests can be made up front when the application is registered, or dynamically when the application is running. When an application requests permission, a user or administrator must consent to the permission before Microsoft Graph will authorize requests. So here are a few concepts to understand when your application needs to interact with Microsoft Graph, and we'll talk about each of these in turn. First off, you need to understand Microsoft Graph permissions or scopes. And you'll see that permissions actually contain scopes, and we'll talk more about that coming up shortly. You also need to know about permission types. And there's two key types that I'll talk about in just a moment as well. And then finally, you need to know about access tokens. Now, we've seen some examples of how access tokens are kind of like a specialized key that gets you in certain doors, but you're going to see shortly that permissions play a big role with access tokens. So let's go ahead and start things off by talking about Microsoft Graph permissions or scopes.